Friday night racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Polytrack. 8 races to look forward to. It is Friday the 7th of February 2025. Race number 1 gets underway at 4:10 over 1600 meters. So it is an early start to the meeting on Friday, and having a look at the last race, the off time for the final race on the program, that will be 8:10. So within a space of 4 hours, hopefully all things go according to plan, we will have the meeting done and dusted. Joining me in studio is Deez Dynant, and we'll get Deez's thoughts in a moment on race number 1, which is an open maiden for fillies and mares over the 1600 meter trip, where number 4 Royal Mermaid tops the boards at 17-10. You can get 2-1 about number 7 Nautical Landin, 3-1 about number 6 La Vida Loca, number 1 White Waters at 4-1. I see there's been some outside support for number 2 Miss Mayfly, 25s into 16, and then you can get 16 about the 3 and 5 at 33. These race number 1 start off the bipot. I like the look of this filly called Royal Mermaid. I like the manner in which she improved last time out in a race where the average rating was a 76. She's now in a 69, 3 lengths off Sonata Samaritan from a 4 draw. I think there's lots of scope for improvement still with this filly.
Yeah, there's it's a race where we've seen it, especially down in the Western Cape. They can throw a result, enhances the chances of horses that are receiving weight rather than those at the top, because that's what the open maiden handicaps are. Treated like a handicap, but with maidens. White Waters, Mike Miller's runner, very interesting that Tristan Godden has opted, or maybe they just want to go with the claim on number 1, because there was some healthy support for this individual last time out at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Ran no type of race, but there were excuses. So keep an eye on that with the claim 4, because you don't want to discount a horse after a bad run being supported. I would keep an eye on number 1, White Waters. Flying Rainstorm, just a short comment, whilst I understand the horse is battling, with the weight that she receives now, could enhance her chances, and maybe 1800 meters too far last time out. I agree with you. Number 4 Royal Mermaid is the horse that's got the most improvement to come, only having 2 runs. Then La Vida Loca is going to be my top choice here, Rael. I know that she's having her first start on the Polytrack. I'm going to take a firm, bold stance and say, at this stage of her career, she doesn't stay 1900 meters or 1950 as she tried last time out. She moved up smoothly to a point. She didn't go on with the effort. She was beaten by a really nice horse in Mocha Blend. And then number 7 Nautical Landing, the mount of Tristan Godden. Well, she needs a lot to go away, and whilst it's a small field, I think she could get away with a running style here, just overcome the draw, set fractions up front that could be comfortable for her to run all the way to the line. So I think the bipod players, if they play around numbers 4, 6, 7, they will get through. Number 4 Royal Mermaid, I'm not going to be brave enough to say have a go at 17-10 or a bipod banker. I think the backup horses numbers 6 and 7 have to go in.
Yeah, I like the 6 horse as well as a nice backup. I'm going to go 4, 6 and 1. 4, 6, 1, 7. That's how I'll tip them here in race number 1 D's. But I think 4 and 6 could well be good enough in leg number 1. You're going to go 3 horses?
Yeah, we got the same numbers for the top 4 positions, just that I've juggled mine around. I'm going to go 6, 7, 4 and 1. That's good. 6, 7, 4 and 1.
6, 7, 4 and 1 in race number 1 for D's. I'm going to go 4, 6, 1 and 7, and let's see how it all unfolds.
Place accumulator, race number 2, need to get on the tote by 16:45, and this is a class 3 over 1200 meters. And as we get to our racing program now, you'll get used to the renaming of these races when it comes to the way they are going to be moving forward. This is a class 3, which basically means it's a low division handicap with ratings of the top to the bottom. I think it's 91 if I'm not mistaken, all the way down to the bottom. 91, yeah, 91 is obviously above the benchmark as well. So we'll see what happens here in race number 2. But we bring up the field. Number 1 Red Roses 2 at 4-1. Horse number 3, Mr. Master Starter Rael, is at 33-10. Number 4, This Is What It Means, is at 11-2. 5, Celtic Chief, trading at 7-2. Number 6, Hope is Power at 33-10. And then number 7, Mr. Henley, is trading at 9-2. I'm going to go with a banker here, Ryle, in all the bets, meaning the buy pot and the place accumulator. Whilst it's a competitive field, with a lot of respect for horses that you can make a case for, I think it's overdue. Long overdue for Mr. Master Starter to run a big bowl race. He's got the draw. He's got Gavin Larena up. All I'm hoping for is for a more confident ride from Stallgate number 3. I'm not saying change the horse's running style or anything. I'm just saying, Gavin Larena, try and have the horse in the first half of the field rather than at the back of the field. And when I say in the first half of the field, well, it's just 7 runners. And even if he's towards the back of the field, he's not going to find an easy opportunity with the minimum number of horses to pass by. So I'm going to go big here. Number 3, Mr. Master Starter, 33-10. I know that he's low on confidence in the W department, which is the big win. But against this type of field, I think it's the right race for him.
Yeah, Deez, I certainly agree with you. I think it's the right race for him. I've gone for him at his last couple of starts. Not his last start, the run before that and the run before that. And he hasn't been able to get the job done, so that drought continues. But yeah, he looks to be in the right place, especially on the poly track, a surface that he absolutely thrives on, with 3 of his 5 victories coming here, 2 wins over course and distance. And yeah, I think if he's given a more positive ride from gate 3, the speed is likely to be on, but you wouldn't want to see this horse coming from last, because I'm not quite sure whether he'll be able to make up the ground on the surface the way it's running at the moment. But I think that he's going to be a big player. I must admit, I like the look of number 6, Hope is Power, as well. His last run with 64 kgs on the back, that was a great effort, and I thought the weight just cost him over the final bit there. He was given 2.5 kgs to the winner, and he was given over 6 kgs to the horse that finished second in the form of Super Fast. So I thought it was a top performance. He remains on a mark of 83. Yes, it is a step up in class, but he's got a nice weight of just 56 to shoulder. He's in the right vein of form at the moment, and I think that he's going to be a big player. And then number 5, Celtic Chief. He's been a horse that's underachieved a lot in his career. He's only a 2-time winner. His work at home is out the top draw, but he unfortunately just doesn't bring it to the track most of the time. And if he decides to put his best foot forward, he could certainly get involved in the play as well. So I'm going to go 3, 5, 6 in the second leg of the bar pot and in the first leg of the place accumulator. I'm confident that I'll be able to at least double up in this race here. Quite interesting. Sean Veal obviously gets first choice for Hollywood Racing, and he's gone with a horse that returns off a 530-day layoff. So I'm not going to read anything into that. I think Hope is Power will finish in front of number 4. This is what it means. But yeah, 3, 5, 6. That's my 3 in race 2.
3, 5, and 6 for Rahim. I'm going to go strong on number 3, Mr. Master Starter. Hopefully it can be the evening that he shines. That is this Friday. 3, 6, 5 going to be the top 3. Similar numbers for Rahil. And race number 2, place accumulator. Get on 16:45.
Race number 3, start off the pick 6, 20 past 5 is the off time. It is a class 5 for fillies and mares over 1200 meters. Number 7, Mama's Baby, tops the boards at 12-10. 5-2, Drive By. Number 5, Quintasia is at 9-2. Number 8, Sweet Julia at 11-2. It's in 12-1 and better bar those. Now these Mama's Baby, Drive By, they finished first and second last time out, but there's a 7 kg pull in the weights for number 6, Drive By, here for 2.5 length beaten. I think that's enough for it to turn the form around with the Mama's Baby. I think these 2 horses could dominate once again, because they were well clear of the balance of the field, and there's a number of horses that are represented by the Mama's Baby form in this race. So I think 6 and 7, I think they should be good enough.
Yeah, I think you have to start off there by saying that the entire field ran in the same race last time out, barring number 4, Chef's Kiss, who is a maiden. So the weight turnaround doesn't favor number 7, Mama's Boy. And what I'm saying is that if this was a mathematical problem, every racing fan will score an A here. If you're backing horses on paper, it's a no-brainer, because Mama's Boy, all you're going to have to try and figure out for yourself is the penalty of 3 kgs good enough for the others to reverse the form, with this filly being better off at the weights, all of them finishing behind her. And as Ryle mentioned, Louis Goosen, an informed stable, has added to that 3 kgs another 4 kgs by putting on the Apprentice. So over a sprinter, some will argue that the weight does matter, but it's not that significant because it all depends on which is the fastest horse from point A to point B on the day. So that is the decision you're going to have to make, racing fans. Is the young kid, Mark Jacobson, worth his 4 kgs on number 6 Drive By? Or are you going to go with the experience, the talent, and the informed Gavin Arena to just nullify that penalty that was incurred last time out by number 7 Mama's Baby? That is the choice that you have, because the game is about handicaps, the game is about ratings, and the game is about trying to find the right races for your horse to be competitive in. Well, Garrett Van Zyl has kept this horse in against the same field as we mentioned, barring number 4, and hoping that she can go again to win. She didn't win for a long time, getting that second career win at her last start. So if it's a mathematical problem, Ryle, and we all have to sit down for the test as racing fans, I'm sure 99% will go with number 6 Drive By, just on the weight turnaround. But you still have to factor in the inexperience of the Apprentice against the talent of a champion jockey and how the race is going to play out. Most races are not won by the best horses on ability, but sometimes by the best tactics by the leading jockeys. And this could be the case here with number 7, Mama's Baby. So I'm not suggesting that Mama's Baby is out of it, although so badly out at the weights. But I do respect the big weight turnaround with number 6. I don't think so. I think that if 7 doesn't win it, any one of the others that were behind it that they could win because of the penalty that number 7 incurred. So I don't think it's a straight shootout between 7 and 6. I think it's 7 or anything else, but I don't like number 4.
Yeah, no, I don't think the 4 can win these, especially on that last run. But yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race. 6 and 7, those are the 2 horses that I'm going to be playing around. I think they should be good enough for 5 points, PAs and pick 6s.
If you're not in this camp of 7, put in the field.
Okay, you can put in the field if you're not in the camp of number 7, Mama's Baby, who is at 12 to 10. But I think Drive By is the right cover here at 5 to 2.
Let's move along to race number 4, and this will be Jackpot 1, and it's a progress plate over 1400 meters. You can use the best weighted column as a guide when it comes to these condition races, and we'll read that out to you after we bring up the field and look at the betting. Number 1, King of Spin, is at 9 to 2. Number 3, Little Black Velvet, is at 8 to 1. 4, Mr. Hot Stepper, an improving 3-year-old that's unexposed and maybe way off the radar when it comes to his rating, at even money. Number 5, Sovereign Grant, the filly, is at 33 to 10. Then we got number 6, La Premiere, at 11 to 2. It's double figures, the balance. I think I want to begin with number 5, Sovereign Grant. And the reason I want to begin with this filly is that she is in the right type of field to possibly win again. But I am not in agreement with her rating. And I say this because she's incurred penalties for running places, yes, in highly competitive races during her season. That was last season. The Umzimkhulu and the South African fillies, guineas, if you have a look at where she positioned herself, 5th beaten 6.5 lengths, 5th beaten 8 lengths by Double Grand Slam and Raskova respectively, and something had to run 5th in both those races considering the quality of those fields. But she incurred, from an 6.5 kg penalty for both those places, moving up to a 103. So, I'm not in agreement with her rating, but that's just a personal opinion. When it comes to this type of field, although I don't think she's a 3-figure filly, I think that they found the right type of field for her, because once you have a look at what she's been racing against this type of field, I think it's the right race that they found for her, number 5, Sovereign Grant. But then I look at number 4, Mr. Hot Stepper, and I think that he is capable of achieving much higher than his rating of 90. And he's won on the turf and he's won on the poly track. He's quite a versatile horse. Last time out trial, they put the money down. He was a good second behind a horse that's in excellent form, and they've engaged the service of the arena. So 4 and 5 for me. Barring those 2 runners, I think I'm out. I'm only going to go 2 runners in everything, 4 and 5.
It's quite an interesting race here, because when you have a look at the best weighted column, Sovereign Grant, obviously clear off the balance, but then you mentioned the rating. I mean, you've got to take into account, do you believe that she is rated a 100? If you do, well, then she's a right horse. But if you believe that she should be lower in the ratings, well, then she's probably not going to be your top choice here. I must be honest, I like the look of number 6, La Premier, and number 1, King of Spin. Now, La Premier, the one concern for me is the 1400 meter trip, but her form on the poly track speaks for itself. From the 8th of June 2024 until her last run, she's only been campaigned on the turf. Her last run on the poly track was over 1,000 meters when beating Pelagonium. She's dropped in the ratings, even though that rating drop doesn't necessarily help her in this race here. She gets the 1.5 kgs off the back, and with the pace being on, I think the race could just map out nicely for her, and I think that she's a horse to include into the play. Number 1, King of Spin, I expected more from him last time out, but perhaps he just needed that come-on run in the province. We've seen Stuart Ferry do well with new horses to the yard, and I think that this horse could be another one that runs a forward race at his second start from gate number 1. He's a winner over the trip, and I think that he definitely needs to get involved into all equations. And then obviously the 5 of Sovereign Ground. So 6, 1, and 5, the 3 horses for me. Mr. Stepper, I'd like to see him show that improvement again. He had 52.5 on his back last time out. Today on Friday he's got 60. He's got to give weight away to the entire field, and he's a young 3-year-old giving away weight to a lot more experienced horses. So even money, I think that's too short for number 4, Mr. Stepper. I like others in the race, and that's going to be 1, 5, 6 in numerical order.
Radhakrishna, the young man, is playing for a result here with numbers 1 and 6. I'm hoping it's a form result between 4 and 5. It's a small field of 7 runners. All the best. Leg 1 of Jackpot 1.
Race number 5, this is the class 5 over 1400 meters. 6:30 is the off time. It is the start of Jackpot 2. And we've got joint favorites number 3, Makadi, and number 6, Numzan, both at 33 to 10. Number 8, Lulu the Legend, is at 9 to 2. It's 11 to 2 about number 7, Incident Proposal. And then you can get 6 to 1 and better bar those. Now, this horse, Numzan, last time out, a lot more was expected from the son of Master of My Fate. Perhaps he just needed that first run back in the province, first run on the poly track, first run after a rest. So I think he would have tightened up with that run. He returns 9 days later. But the key for me is Gavin Larena takes a ride for Fricky Kraling. That is a notable jockey booking. And I think Gavin could be the right man for the task at hand. Having a look at the race, Bally Magic is the one horse on his inside that has got speed. And then when you look at the balance, there's no one else that really goes up there. So I think Gavin could find himself in a nice position. I think he'll be able to get this horse across from the draw, and he'll be able to track number 2, Bally Magic, who's likely to be doing all the work out in front. And I think that this horse could go very close. And the backup for me in the race comes in the form of number 3, Makadi. I like the way he finished off his race last time out behind Porfirio. He jumped from gate number 3. He's a horse that doesn't really help the jockey out in the race, but he seems to be in a nice space at the moment, doing his best work at the finish, so he can get involved. But I really like the look of number 6, Numzan here.
A lot of respect for number 6, Numzan, the talk of the town last time out, ran to a point, looks like he was going to win, but what a ride from Muzieni on Porfirio. I think a repeat of that run will see him go very close. I got a horse in this race that's not going to be starting at 11 to 2, guys. It's a merit rating strike of note. Number
even further out to the market.
Yeah, 11 to 2. I'm expecting the horse to be around 3 to 1 come race time, maybe even shorter. Indecent. Yep. I think Jermaine Maharaj has got it spot on. He's a good mate, Jermaine, known him for many, many years. He's a Punters Challenge winner as well. When I used to host the racing challenge. That's the entire season of the KZN. He knows his outs, Jermaine, and I'm with him on this horse. Yeah, I say a merit rating strike. If there ever is one, this is the horse. 81 to a 67, minus the 4, net 59. A horse that's in and out down in the Western Cape. But Garrett is back in town. His horses have arrived. And I think that he's found the right race for this horse. Although the form lines don't inspire much confidence, just have a look at where they've been placing this horse down in the Western Cape. Average ratings, 90, 80, 78, 79. The average rating here is a 62. Wow, this is a big drop for this horse. And the fact that we've gone to the claim for 11 to 2, guys, get on properly. I think this horse is going to shorten after the airing of this show. I think the horse will shorten come race time. Number 6, Numzan, the horse to beat. I'll go 2 runners here, Royal. Short and sweet for me. 7 to beat 6.
7 to beat 6. Indecent Proposal, the top choice here, with Nkolisi Mbuto in the irons, and let's see how he goes here. And then I think 3 and 6 could be the horses to play around here. So 3, 6, 7, you've got 3 horses in race number 5, the start of Jackpot 2.
We're now on to race number 6, and it is a D stakes over 1800 meters. And just chatting to Royal off air, I wanting us to know which competition Jermaine Maharaj won. Well, it's not the Punters Challenge competition, which is something that Hollywood has. There was a competition that was called the Charity Turf Challenge competition that was hosted by Racing South Africa, that was for the entire champion season during KZN, where you have a team of horses and your team of horses earn points for you through the season, and that's how you get the winner. And Jermaine Maharaj did win 100K in that competition. So race number 6, we bring up the field, and horse number 3, English Primrose, is at 9 to 2, 4 King Bavarian at 15 to 10, and 7 Wave Warrior at 15 to 10. And the one thing that I will say at the top of this preview, if there's a horse in the race that Gavin Arena is going to suit, even though carrying 61.5 kgs, I think it's number 7, Wave Warrior. And I can see why the fixed odds betting market have got this horse that short, even though poorly drawn and not winning in some time. 303 days, 15 to 10, coming off a 2.5-month break. Looks like in the right race. 4 King Bavarian, yeah, he just continues to pay his way through training for Lyle McNeil and friends. I know Lyle will be on course. He loves this horse to bits. 485 days. The consistency could be rewarded. And then go and have a look at the replay, racing fans, of number 3, English Primrose, on what happened last time out. From the get-go, this horse was never in the race, and she ran accordingly. She was, I'm not going to say intimidated, but things didn't go according to plan from the get-go, and she found herself towards the back of the field, and she wasn't, really punished or persevered with by Calvin Habib. I think you'll see much better from her at around 9 to 2. I'm tipping them 7, 4, and 3, but I like number 7, Wave Warrior, for the PA and the bipod.
Yeah, geez, I'm going to go 4, 3, 7. I think we've got the right 3 horses in the race to play around. I think King Bavarian will finish in front of Wave Warrior. He gets the 4.5 kgs. He's a proven horse over the distance, having won over the trip. Whereas Wave Warrior, I'm not quite sure whether 1800 meters suits him. I think he's best from 14 to a mile. I think that's his best trip, but he'll obviously be competitive over here with Gavin in the irons. I think King Bavarian is overdue that second career victory. He's been holding solid form of late. He's been knocking on the door, and I think that this is the right type of race for him. Agree with you. Number 3, English Mistress. Ignore that last run. Judge on a previous form when running 3 seconds in a row. She'll have her supporters and she'll be in the mix once again. And when you have a look at the balance, there's nothing else that will really give you any confidence. So I think those 3 horses are the right ones. If one of them don't win, well, then I think we are in for a train smash result in the exotics.
3 horses for both Ryle and myself here in race number 6, in numerical order 3, 4, and 7, hoping that those could be good enough for the exotics.
Race number 7, penultimate race on the program, class 4 for fillies and mares over 1400 meters. 19:40 is the off time. Number 5, Jet Lavish tops the boards at 7-2. Number 10, Pour Some Sugar on Me at 9-2. 11, She's a Machine, 11-2. 6-1, Sky Trick, 6-1, Fortune Door, 10-1, and Better Bar those. Number 9, Jazz Diva is out. Now, if we go back to last week, Friday, when these horses were meant to take on one another, this horse, She's a Machine, there was tons and tons of money for her. I think she was at 16-10 in the market. She found support from odds of, I think, 4 or 5-1. But for this week, Friday, it seems like punters have left her alone for now, and she's at 11-2. So there could be value in her. I know she's got a deep draw to contend with, but she's a filly that has shown a fair share of ability. She's ran third to Care Forgot in the Beach Beauty Mile, and then last time out from that form line behind Ice Rain, we saw Ice Rain come through to win, to frank that form again. So that form line's holding up very, very nicely with another winner from there. And I think that yeah, she's going to go well, but I don't think it's a one-horse race. There's lots of horses in with chances here, including number 4, Prom Queen, at 20-1.
Yeah, 11, She's a Machine. You're right about the betting support for that meeting that was scheduled. And with Ice Rain winning, well, you'd expect to be followed through. Wars Are Nowhere coming out to win, Ice Rain winning. Maybe the draw is just something that the guys are erring on the side of caution on the poly track, because you need a bit of luck from that draw, and you'll just wait and see how the track's running on the day before you want to get in. But 11, She's a Machine. I think this market would level itself out come race time rather than in the anti-post market. But if it's anything that's going to be smashed, anti-post, well, keep an eye on, because there's no action at the time of recording. It's a race where a number 2, Sky Tricks at 7-1, 5 Jet Lavish at 7-2, 6 Way to Burn at 8-1, 7 Grey Fantasy at 8-1. Then we got number 8, Miss Pageant at 9-1, 10 Pour Some Sugar and Me at 9-1, and 11 at 11-2. Now, when you look at that betting, it tells a story, it paints a picture. It looks like a trifecta quartet race. I'm just going to suggest 3 horses. 11, who I've spoken about, is going to be my third choice. Ahead of that is going to be my top pick, number 6, Way to Burn. Having watched this filly at her last 2 starts, the way Garth has placed her, he's obviously tried and tested her against some strong opposition. When I look at the average ratings of those races, an 80 and 83 and dropping down to 78, she's run against some fair sorts. I think this type of field, although there's form around her, she'll be competitive on the way she races and the fact that she loves racing on the surface. That's going to be my top choice. My second choice will be number 10, Pour Some Sugar on Me. I think Rachel Vinegar gets the best tune out of this mare, the way she rides her. I know that she can be tricky from the get-go. Very often she seems to be missing the break, which has been costly in the past. But if Rachel can time it right from that wide draw, she's the type of filly that will be positioned well. I think she's got a very good finish, number 10, Pour Some Sugar on Me. So I'm going to tip them 6, 10, and 11 as my top 3 choices. Once I start looking past that rail, it becomes an absolute nightmare for me. And I am just going to go with those 3 runners in all bets. And I don't know what's going to be happening with number 13, Fort Chador, but if that runs and gets a jockey, maybe it could be Serena Woodley, you'll never know. On her polytrack form, she's now going to come into gate number 9. I'll actually consider Fort Chador as well, so I'm going to tip them 6, 10, 11, and then keep an eye if Fort Chador runs, racing fans. So 6, 10, 11, and 13.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, number 2, Sky Tricks, filly that's got her fair share of ability. I think jumping from gate number 2 will assist her.
What happened there with the jockeys? What has Tristan chosen there?
Yeah, it's an interesting move. These, I must be honest, I far prefer number 2, Sky Tricks, over number 7, Grey Fantasy, who tries the distance for the first time. It will be interesting to see how she goes over the trip and whether she'll stay. But I think number 2, Sky Tricks, is in the right type of field here to make a presence felt in a big way. So 2, 4, 10 and 11 in numerical order. Those are going to be the 4 horses that are play around here. But I think it is a type of race where you can go wider than that in the exotics.
6, 10, 11, and 13. You've listened to Rahul Radhakrishna's numbers. Let's move along to the lucky last. Well, if you're running in exotics, hopefully it's paying well and you are loaded up here in race number 8 because if you have gone narrow, then it's time to sit tight and hope it falls into place because it's not an easy race. It's a class 4 1400 meters where number 2 Imperial Power is at 5-1, number 3 Voldemort at 6-1, 4 Kimball O'Hara is at 4-1, 6 Terminator is trading at 4-1, number 7 Moyawala Liga at 8-1, 10 Kings Island at 8-1, and it's double figures the balance. Before I break down, I'm going to hand over to you, Rahul.
Yeah, these quite a competitive race to wrap up proceedings. Betting 4-1 the field here. Kimball O'Hara Terminator, as you've touched on. Yeah, 1400 meters. I think there's value to be had in this contest. Number 1, Lord Wiley. I think that he's better than his last start when beaten 10 lengths by Burning Man. I think ignore that run. He's dropped a further 2 points in the rating, now racing off a mark of 74. He jumped from gate 1 and he gets 1.5 kgs off the back. He's a 2-time winner of a course and distance with 4 wins coming over the trip. So I think there's lots of positives about this horse. Wendy Whitehead stable has turned. They had a winner just the other day at Hollywoodbets Scottsville with that grey winning for them. And I think the winners could start to flow in for the yard. And I think that Lord Wiley is in the right type of race. At 10-1, I think he's worth an each way play. This horse, Terminator, is a horse that proved costly for punters last time out, going off at 15-10. He didn't help Serena Woodley at all in the race. Difficult horse to ride these. I mean, he was keen, he was fighting for his head. He just was of no help. But if he has managed to settle down in KZN and he's able to race more relaxed.
I've watched him in Cape Town.
Yeah, but I think the one thing that Byron could possibly do with the horse is get him to relax quite nicely. Well, we'll see if they do that.
He's a difficult customer.
Yeah, but he's a type of horse that on the poly track he could actually be suited to it because the way his surface runs could just suit him, and he'll be out in front doing his own thing. And if he doesn't run out of gas the final bit, well then he could certainly win. He's a horse that has run against some nice horses down in the Western Cape, and I think he'll certainly be competitive. So 1-6, those are going to be the 2 horses that I play around in race number 8. What's your thinking here, Dees?
Yeah, I think 1 and 6, you could be on right horses. 1 now, I'll give a mention to. It's the same story with him with ratings. When he's going to win again, could be the race. Terminator, it all depends on how much energy he uses up in running, because one thing I will agree is that if he takes to the poly track and things work out for him, the speed that could come into play could see him run all the way to the line. Number 6, Terminator.
How's that run to Aristotle?
Yeah, top run. That's when you go to some of his form lines down in the Western Cape over 1400 meters, you'll be encouraged, you'll get some confidence. But I can't go with confidence. So numbers 1 and 6 for you, I agree. I'm going to tip our horse here at 12-1 as the value bet on the card. I like some value throughout the card, but in the last race, I'm hoping that when we need it most, or maybe we want to multiply out our profits, if we are in the green, it's going to be number 12, Winter Waves. A horse that will be given a chance by Atandiwe Mgudla. I'm not expecting much from that draw. He's a horse that can travel smoothly when his mind's on racing. The signs have been there at his recent starts, and maybe he's coming back to some of his better form. I'm just hoping for him not to be towards the back end of the field or last. If he's in the second half of the field, I don't mind. And, against this type of field, knowing the strength of his form line last time out, where there's no less than 3 winners to come out of that form line, and having a look at the way he raced on the turf, I think from draw number 12, given a nice chance, paces on, a horse that will be running on smartly. I like the look of him. He's done the stable proud already. From his 52 races, he's already won 8 times, of which 6 have been on the poly track, and he is a 7-year-old that's still enjoying his racing. So I'm going to tip them 12 to beat number 6, Terminator. then number 1, Lord Wiley. So 1 and 6, your numbers are there, Ryle. And for 4th, number 4, Kimbola Hara. But I'm hoping the value on Winter Waves at 12 to 1 could be the business at the back.
There's some good value found here in race number 8. You've got 1 at 10 to 1 and then the 12 horse at 12 to 1. So 2 nice long shots to play around in race number 8. These, just to sum it up, doesn't look to be a straightforward card. There's a few difficult races on the day where punters probably need to go wide, and we'll see how that what I think is the match race, Drive By Mama's Baby, pans out.
The only thing you're going to be drive-by is driving out of the race course after that race, Ryle Radhakrishna. But pleasure working with you as always, Ryle. And it's all about structure. That is how you catch the exotics. And on this Friday, TGIF to Greyville, it's Friday at Hollywoodbets Greyville. You better be there. I'll tell you why. Because after this race meeting on Friday, the poly track is going in for refurbishment, which basically means they are going to be there's going to be no racing on the poly track for a long time. So there's lots on offer on the day with regards to prizes. It's going to be prize night with entertainment and alles for you, the valued racing fans. So if you're wondering what to do on this Friday, make your way to Hollywoodbets Greyville. For Ryle Radhakrishna, Gallop TV and myself, Deez Dynan, have a blast, find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful start to your weekend. Until we meet again, you take care. Salanigashe.